Warren Buffett has always advised that choose your business partners as you choose your spouse. Of course, advice coming from Warren Buffett, the great investor, means a lot. And for him, and more so the business they had done with the late Charlie Munger, they had done business for over 40 years. And I think they had known each other for over 60 years. And talking of Charlie Munger, it's so unfortunate that he died when he was 99 years old, 34 days before he turned 100. That's how death can be cruel at times. Back to business partnership. Choosing the right business partner, just as we mentioned, just as Warren Buffett advised, is like a spouse. This is somebody you're willing to do business with them for a long time, for many years. And the best way to paint the picture of why business partnerships is very important is by giving you scenarios. As I'm always said, I'm here to share my story for you to learn from these stories. So years back, some 4 gentlemen, 4 cousins, if you're in Kenya, you understand the joke about cousins, came up together to set up a business. We had a good idea, and the 4 of us, and let me even give you better context. So I knew Mr. X, I'll give them names. So Mr. X knew me, Mr. X knew Mr. Y, and Mr. Y introduced a Mr. Z, sorry. So me and X know each other well, and Y and Z know each other well. So we come in together, we have this idea of setting up a good business. We put together what we thought would be a good business. And of course, as you're starting up the business relationship, some challenges would come in. And one, Mr. Z decided to pull off. First red flag. We continue the conversations of, what we want to put together. Within no time, Mr. X, who invited me, pulled out. Second red flag. And notice I ignored both red flags. So we are left, me and Mr. Y, to run the business. And for sure, because our values were not aligned, the business was out, or rather didn't go beyond a year. Why? Because the fundamentals had not been established. And it's very important as you go out seeking partners to do business, agree on your fundamentals, or what I call non-negotiables. What are those things that, despite you not being able to agree, these ones never change? And again, when you think of also relationship, any type of relationship, there are those things that determine how that relationship will go. And then there are those non-negotiables that we should never cross this point. And for me, there are very basic things that I always work with. Trust, integrity. Because for me, integrity is everything. If I cannot trust you, we can't do business. It's as simple as that. And if you're also willing to go into partnership, these are very basic things that if you are not able to agree at the onset, it becomes even a big challenge when you're dealing with integrity issues as the business thrives. Decision-making process. Sounds easy, but once you get into business and have partners in your business, becomes very tricky. And by the way, decision-making is not just the individual. You also have to consider also the culture of the individual. I happen to be doing business in a country outside, within Africa. And some of my business partners from that region, I see how they make business decision based on the culture of the country. The country has gone through some turmoils, and like for me, who comes from Kenya, we've never had such challenges. So they make decision driven by suspicion, fear, and for me to do business with them, I need to be cognizant of those cultural influences that enable us to make a decision. And again, these things need to be laid out at the table when you're commencing this business relationship. For roles and responsibility, who does what? Who calls the shots? Who addresses 1, 2, 3 issues when we are doing business? Again, these things need to be laid out clear, and everyone agrees and understands their roles and responsibility so that you don't start stepping on each other. And of course, when you're working as business partners, you have employees within the business. Some of them are able to read that partner A or director A makes decision on this perspective. So if I want to address a specific issue, I go to a specific individual or partner who I feel would be either listen to me or understands the business. Now, of course, you now at the board level, you're left to be dealing with your own conflict that were not originally at the board level, but introduced more by your staff. And secondly, or rather fourthly, conflict resolution. Conflicts will always be there. Remember, you are coming from different backgrounds, you have different visions in life. So conflicts will be there. It's very paramount for you to understand and agree on how you'll address these conflicts, because conflicts will definitely be there. Even for the Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger business relationship, I'm sure conflicts were there, but probably they had structures in how best to address these conflicts. So back to you choosing your business partner. I've always for the idea that it's the opposite that do attract. And I'll give you a classic example. I've worked with one business partner, and we're in very different businesses with him, Mr. Torsten Tollner. He's a very visionary person. I'm more of the executive person, the executor. He's more faith-driven. I'm more factual. Now, assume both of us were faith-driven. A big challenge. The beauty of having a faith and a fact person is that the people who are driven with faith, sometimes they also need to be slowed down. Facts needs to come in. People like me who are driven by facts, sometimes facts don't make sense. It's only a person with faith who will be able to enable you and motivate you to move to the next level. And that's how you need to have your partners. You're able to complement each other. Now, you can imagine I'm a facts person. I'm doing business with another fact person. You can imagine the kind of conflicts that we'll be bringing on the table, because I bring in my facts, my other business partners bring in their facts. So it's fact versus facts. That will definitely have a lot of challenges. So as you go out doing business, choose partners, again, who you have common values. Again, there are people who are driven by money, which is fair enough, but the others who are driven beyond to impact, then the money will come. So look at these two scenarios. You brought in somebody who's driven purely by money and somebody else who's driven by impact, value they are bringing on board. We'll always have challenges in terms of how they drive the business and the vision for the business. So as you go out there, choosing your business partners, always remember to have your non-negotiables. What are these things that even if we don't disagree, these never changes? And wishing you the very best as you keep clocking those hours. Let's keep talking. Looking forward to the next session.